Hello and welcome to a channel update. For those of you who are regular viewers of my channel, you'll realize that 95, maybe even like 99% of my channel is purely dedicated to Python. And although I love Python, I want this channel to be more about overall analytics and less about just being a Python tutorial channel. So although that's become a really great base, I now want to build on that and cover other softwares. So in my world of work, I do a lot with digital marketing. And so this is the next step of this channel is to delve into the Google suite of products and let you know and teach you about how digital marketing works and what is digital marketing and the information that you can get from websites and tracking in general. And it's just incredible what is out there. For example, there's softwares which can track each click on the page you're at, on every page on the site, and there's like a sort of heat map where the more clicks, the redder it is on that page. So you can really see exactly on what page a user clicked. And so that's just one little example of a huge number of tracking metrics and data points that can be obtained through digital marketing. I will continue to do my Python tutorials. I really like Python. I don't want to give that up. So I will still have Python tutorials along with my sort of notepad scripting tutorials, my occasional Excel tutorials. But it will also be a shift towards data and technology. Okay, so let's go onto Google and let me explain to you, I'll give you a quick summary of the sort of products we're going to be looking at. So we're going to start with the Google suite of products. So you have your Google Analytics, Google AdWords, you have Google BigQuery, Google Data Studio, and the really great thing about these is they have a free version which is not limiting at all really when you're sort of getting started and you're in digital marketing. You can have a company that performs very well, quite well on the free products that Google provides. They do have paid versions, and the Google Analytics paid version is ridiculously expensive, but it does have a lot more capabilities. However, I can't afford £100,000 a year or something like that, so we'll just settle with the free one. So let's get started. So let's just look at the main one we're going to be looking at, Google Analytics. And what you'll find is that it is a service that provides sort of a really great sort of dashboarding and visual summary of whatever accounts you have linked to this. So you can link your AdSense account. I'll provide a tutorial on that next week. You can link your BigQuery, you can link tag managers, get tags firing, you can link websites, and it will all come together in sort of a sort of dashboard environment where you can basically create graphs, have some visuals, and you better understand in a much easier and simpler way of what's going on and be able to provide more insights into what's happening. And it's all real time as well. And so it's really great. And you can look at demographics information, look at age groups, look at their interests. And it all depends on sort of things like the tracking that have been implemented, also how the user themselves are connected to the internet. If they've got browsers which hide your personal information, you won't be able to get as much information from them, and then this will not be populated so much in Google Analytics. But if they're using Google Chrome, for example, we can get so much information from into analytics and about this person. So you get all sorts of information. So that's just one example. Another example is Google BigQuery, which is essentially an SQL shell, which you can use. You can basically, it's like big data, sort of lots of big data tables, which you can use SQL to dig into and dive into and sort of understand. And you can link BigQuery to your Google Analytics. And you can link it to Google Sheets, or you can link it to an Excel document. And so Google BigQuery is like a real good hub for storing massive big data tables and then using SQL to sort of drill down into it. We'll also be looking at sort of Google Data Studio. So if I type in Google Data Studio, this is another one another sort of dashboarding software, which is more meant for reporting, whereas analytics is meant for sort of user interaction and sort of digging in and drilling down into the data. The Google Data Studio is used more for sort of reporting and equivalent to sort of your PowerPoint presentations essentially, but with sort of more of a digital analytics feel and more sort of UX friendly, because you can link Google Data Studio and have live connections to your BigQuery and to your analytics and to many other softwares and programs. So one thing you have to understand is that within digital marketing, how the softwares connect to each other and getting information like that is a massive industry. There are small startup companies and larger companies who have built sort of entire connector softwares that can connect 500 or more different softwares all together and create links between them. Another one we can look at is Google Sheets, but that is essentially very similar to an Excel document, except it's more online and has more of a collaborative environment. So you can actually see other people, many people can work on the same sheet, and you can see their changes that they're doing live as you are doing your changes. It's a bit of a weird Big Brother feel, but you can get used to it very quickly. It's not as functional, I would say, as Excel. As Excel is a software which you download onto your computer, but I would say it's much better than Excel online. So there's 3 different softwares here, all very similar but are different. We have Google Sheets, Excel Online, and Excel. However, we will be focusing on the Google Sheets one. Anything else? And then Google Tag Manager. Yeah, Google Tag Manager is another one we'll be looking at. I don't work with this so much because that's another team in my company, but I have used it and I have created tags and I know about tags and have implemented them, and so I'll be showing you a bit about Google Tag Manager as well. As well as that, once I've done this digital marketing, I also want to go forwards, and hopefully by then I'll have a decent sort of income coming in where I can purchase Tableau and I can purchase maybe even Spotfire. We can start looking at some other dashboarding tools and I can do some tutorials on those as well. So lots for this channel to look forward to, as well as continuing on with the old stuff, the Python. I really want to do some Django. I really want to get into sort of making some providing some decent bits of code, some useful snippets of code, and get into web scraping and building other pieces of software as well. So lots for this channel to look forward to. Please do subscribe. And if you like the sound of it, or if you think someone else will like the sound of it, please do let them know and get them to subscribe as well. Thanks very much for watching.